everyone. Past few days, you would have heard so many words. First, Bitcoin. Second, cryptocurrency. Third, blockchain. What is all this? You will be wondering. So that is why I have come here to present to you a small workshop on Bitcoin technology, or is it crypto technology, or is it blockchain technology, whatever it is. Let us learn, dear friends, today what exactly is this Bitcoin, what is cryptocurrency, what is cryptography, and what exactly is blockchain technology, and how it will help us in the future and how it is helping us now. Shall we go ahead? Let's begin. So before we actually begin the class, let us try to understand what many famous people speak about this cryptocurrency. So this portion I call it as the crypto speak. So first let me take you through what David Marcus, the CEO of PayPal, has to say about this. He says, I really like Bitcoin. I own Bitcoins. It's a store of value, a distributed ledger. It's also a good investment vehicle if you have an appetite for risk, but it won't be a currency until volatility slows down. Well, there are so many terms here: distributed ledger, investment vehicle, Bitcoin, coin of value, but volatility should come down, all those things. Let us discuss, no problem. So next we have with us Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google. What does he have to say? Bitcoin is a remarkable cryptographic achievement, and the ability to create something that is not duplicable in the digital world has enormous value. That cannot be duplicated. Hold on to that thought. Next, we have with us, who has spoken about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, Ginny Rometty, the CEO of IBM, who says, anything that can conceive of as a supply chain, blockchain can vastly improve its efficiency. It doesn't matter if it's people, numbers, data, money. Now, she has not spoken about Bitcoin, but she has gone and spoken something about blockchain. Now, what is blockchain? Hold on to that thought. Then we have our very own Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft, who says, Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to physically be in the same place. And of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient. So he's talking about something where currency can be inconvenient, but Bitcoin is not, right? And then we have one of the richest people in the world, an inspiration to many, among other people as well who we have already seen, Warren Buffett, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He says, stay away from it. It's a mirage, basically. In terms of cryptocurrencies, generally I can say almost with certainty that they will come to a bad ending. Oh, that was an ominous sentence. So the thing here is, friends, some of them are for it. Warren Buffett definitely for sure is against it. Now, what exactly is Bitcoin is what we have to discuss in this particular session. So this workshop is about cryptocurrency and introduction to a concept called blockchain. Now, is cryptocurrency a part of blockchain? Is cryptography a part of cryptocurrency? What is Bitcoin? What is the entire concept of blockchain is what we are going to discuss. Before that, we have just seen what other people have said about cryptocurrency, but we need to understand also what is, cryptocurrency in the market. What is it doing as of now? Crypto in the market. If you see, Lionel Messi recently said he has become a global brand ambassador of Sirin Labs, the developer of blockchain-based secure smartphone and all-in-one PC. So he's doing something. What is it? We'll discuss. Then we have our very own Elon Musk. You would have seen every news now with respect to Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency is linked to this man, Elon Musk. He's a man who cannot stay away from controversy or from success or from whatever. You open the internet, you have Elon Musk. So he let out a controversial tweet, a few days ago. You can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, and that's it. And eventually he said Tesla is using only internal and open source software and operates Bitcoin nodes directly. Bitcoin paid to Tesla will be retained as Bitcoin, not converted to any fiat currency. Then recently, because of COVID, we had Brett Lee, who donated 1 Bitcoin for India's fight against COVID-19, and 1 Bitcoin was valued at 40 lakh rupees. And we had Mark Zuckerberg, who named his goat Max and Bitcoin. So friends, a lot of crypto speak is happening in the market as we speak. That's the reason why I have come out with this blockchain workshop. What all do we discuss in this workshop? First, of course, the introduction to Bitcoin technology. Then, how does cryptocurrency work? How does cryptography works? Third one, something about smart contract and its application that uses the concept of blockchain technology. And something else called forking in blockchain. And something more about cryptocurrencies. And a complete demo of blockchain. How exactly, how practically does it work, the entire blockchain technology? A very, very interesting workshop. Probably it will be around 1.5 to 2 hours. Extremely interesting. But today, for now, let's take up the introduction to blockchain technology. Shall we go ahead? Let's dive right into it. So in the first part of the introduction, friends, let's understand what really is this blockchain. So first I'll give you the definition and then we'll, understand what exactly this is. So a blockchain is a series of immutable records of data that is managed by a cluster of computers, which is not owned by a single entity. Each of these blocks are secured and bound by a cryptographic principle or by a set of cryptographic principles. Some keywords: immutable records, managed by cluster of computers, not owned by a single entity, and each of these blocks, what do they have? Cryptographic principles. So basically, if you see the structure, it may turn to be more complicated. So you have something called, cryptographic principles. You have something called transaction, trust, verification, mining. Leave that for a moment. Let's understand in layman terms. For a moment, let's forget about blockchain. Let us discuss cricket. We all know. Let's say Virat Kohli, Rahul Dravid, the wall, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Captain Cool, and the god of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. Let us assume that four of them go to watch the very famous Kannada movie, KGF. Right? So Sachin Tendulkar wants to pay for this ticket because the other three people have not got their wallet. So let us say that the cinema ticket is around 250 rupees. Okay. So Sachin Tendulkar pays 250 into 4, that is 1000 rupees from his own pocket. Now Sachin wants to secure this transaction. So what will he say? He will give 250 to each of them, and of course, and he will say, each of you owe me 250 rupees. Very simple. Right? So he'll write a document securing it, saying that Rahul Dravid owes me 250, Virat Kohli owes me 250, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni owes me 250. Very simple. Now Dravid being Dravid, he asks a very simple question. Hey Sachin, you have given a document, no problem. What if tomorrow, instead of 250, you add one more zero and say each of us owe 2500 rupees? What's the guarantee? So to curb this, the only thing that you can do is have 4 documents. So they create 4 documents saying that the 3 of them owe Sachin Tendulkar 250 each, and all the 4 sign on this document. Right? That's each of them has a document whereby that clearly says that yes, I owe Sachin Tendulkar 250 rupees. Very simple example. Now let us now understand and link it with blockchain. Immutable records. So let me come back to the definition again quickly. This workshop is intended to make blockchain so easy for laymen like you and I. Each of us should be able to understand what is blockchain. That's why we are breaking it down by giving a lot of practical examples and linking to various easy things so that we'll understand the concept. Is a series of immutable records of data that is managed by a cluster of computers, which is not owned by a single entity and then secured by cryptographic principles. First point, immutable records. Immutable means which cannot be edited or cannot be deleted. In this example, all 4 of them, each of them have a document, peer to peer. All of them are equal. Can they delete? Can one person delete the document? No, the other 3 will obviously catch them. So you cannot edit or cannot delete the data. Second, cluster of computers. If you see, if you and I have a bank account, let's say in ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank, the entire thing, the data is maintained by one entity, that is the bank. But here, the document is not just with Sachin Tendulkar. He's not the only person maintaining it. It is with four of them. It is with all of them. So it is not with a single entity. This concept is called a distributed ledger. Distributed record, distributed ledger. Each person will have a record that yes, I owe Sachin 250. Basically all three people. So in each of the documents, each like Dravid's name will be there, Virat Kohli's name will be there, Mahendra Singh Dhoni's name will be there, and there will be amounts of who owes what amount. In this example, 250 rupees each. So cluster of computers. Third one, secured by cryptographic principles. Here in this example, the paper is signed. All of them sign all the four documents. But in a blockchain environment, it is done through a concept called digital signature. There is something called as a private key, something called as a public key. Basically, it is secured by cryptographic principles. So I hope you understood this bit. Immutable records, cluster of computers, secured with cryptographic principles. Immutable records, all four of them have documents. Cluster of computers, it is not with Sachin Tendulkar alone, it's with everybody. Secured with cryptographic principles. Physical document I would sign. A digital document, I will use a digital signature. Got it, guys? So now that we discussed that example, can we go ahead? One more example maybe to understand how it works? Yes. So let's dive into that example. So let's say, guys, we are chartered accountants, so we can work as audit managers in some firm or some LLP, whatever the case may be. So let us say that I am an audit manager. So I send the draft financial statements and my observations to my partner for him to review. Okay. So the partner of the CA firm downloads those documents, goes through them carefully, makes some changes wherever needed and sends it back to me. Now in this case, I sent him a document, he downloaded, made changes and sent it back to me. Instead of that, let us assume that I create a Google Sheet which is stored on the cloud. Whatever changes are needed, I make on the Google Sheet which is stored on the cloud. Similarly, he also can make changes in the same Google Sheet. The beauty about this is, again, if you see, it's a shared ledger. Since it is on the cloud, we can know who changed it, who altered it, who deleted a few entries, who added a few entries, is it not? So any alteration between two peers, in this example, Google Sheet, is the best way to understand what is a cryptocurrency. Whether it is Bitcoin, whether it is Ethereum, so many cryptocurrencies are there. The best way is, ultimately, it's a peer-to-peer connection and it is again immutable records. Why? Because we exactly know who changed it. We exactly know who added things, deleted things. So it works as a Google Sheet. So the cryptocurrency in this example, if you relate to it, is like a Google Sheet where it's a shared ledger. Cryptocurrency does not have any underlying value in the sense it is not governed by US dollars, it's not governed by INR, it's not governed by any regulatory body, but it is nothing but a shared ledger. So if I have Ethereum or Bitcoin, and I give you that, it just means that I'm sharing that ledger with you. Yes, cryptocurrency or Bitcoin is not a coin. It's not a note. It is just a shared ledger, friends. That's it. So for instance, to give you some more perspective, let us say I have an account in SBI, right? My bank. I want to transfer some money to my friend who has his account in, let's say HDFC. So my bank debits my account. My bank is maintaining my ledger, right? I will send money to my friend's bank who is maintaining obviously in HDFC, and HDFC bank is maintaining my friend's ledger who will credit my friend's account. In this entire transaction, dear friends, there are two people involved, intermediaries. So I could have directly given money to my friend, but there are two people involved here. One is SBI and one is HDFC. Nothing but our banking system. So our banking system is based on a robust financial system, which is again governed by the regulator. In this example, in our country, India, it is the Reserve Bank of India. There is a regulator, correct? So think of it the same way. A peer-to-peer network. This cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, let us say SBI is not there, HDFC is not there. That ledger, somebody to maintain the ledger is not there. I and my friend, that's it. Both of them have this shared ledger. Linking it to the previous example, the Google Sheet. That's it. That Google Sheet itself, my dear friends, is the cryptocurrency. Wonderful concept. That is why if you link it to what Warren Buffett says, it is something that is going to end in a bad way because there is absolutely no regulation. There is zero regulation, right? So we know in our country, we have RBI. RBI issues a note. If you see any note, it says, I promise to pay, the bearer, the sum of so and so, and the RBI governor signs. So there is regulation. In a cryptocurrency, on the other hand, forget about regulation for a bit. That signature which the RBI governor has signed, and the fact that I owe you money, I pay money through a bank, etc., everything is secured cryptographically using digital signatures. Again, it's a peer-to-peer network without any regulation. And the fact that SBI and HDFC in my example maintain ledger, that itself is a shared ledger. And linking back to my previous example of Google Sheet, it's a shared ledger. So I again repeat, my dear friends, Bitcoin is not a coin. It is not a note. It is nothing but a shared ledger created through a peer-to-peer network, which is immutable. It cannot be deleted, cannot be altered. Basically, it is, definitely cannot be manipulated as such. And it is through a peer-to-peer system of networks secured cryptographically. That is what we need to understand. Secured cryptographically between me and my friend. That shared ledger, that Google Sheet is nothing but cryptocurrency. And this entire technology where it is secured cryptographically is called as blockchain technology. Did you get it? So cryptocurrency uses blockchain technology. Blockchain is an ocean, and one small part of it is the concept of cryptocurrency. So that is exactly what we wanted to discuss. So this is how it works. Now we need to dive into certain fundamental principles of Bitcoin and fundamental principles of blockchain. And of course, we will take an example of Bitcoin also to understand the overall principles of blockchain so that you'll understand this really, really well. Okay, my dear friends?
So friends, till now we have discussed that cryptocurrencies are built on a network of computers, correct? The transactions through a blockchain technology. So now we need to understand what are the fundamental principles of blockchain. And as discussed in the previous slide, blockchain is an ocean. So let's discuss about that ocean, shall we? So fundamental principles of blockchain, I can characterize that into 4 important pillars. Pillar number 1 is the pillar of decentralization. So let us say with 10 rupees in my pocket or with 40 rupees, 50 rupees in my pocket, can I go to Australia and pick up a loaf of bread with 50 rupees Indian currency? No. Right? Similarly, a person of any other nationality with that currency, can he come to India and pick it up? Pick any item that he wants by paying US dollars, Australian dollar? Not possible. Very simple, because everything has to go through a regulation, and that regulation in India, we know, is the Reserve Bank of India. So through Reserve Bank of India, through the proper channels, every currency will have to go through the same channel. So the most important thing in any other currency, form of currency, would be the concept of a regulatory body. We have the Reserve Bank of India, for example. But in blockchain technology, there is no concept of regulation as such, because everything is decentralized. So today, if I want to buy a car, I can pay my friend in Australia through cryptocurrency, through Bitcoin. So as I showed you in the first slide, Tesla accepts Bitcoin is what Elon Musk had tweeted. But after a few days, he said that Tesla will no longer accept Bitcoin. And then slowly but steadily, he converted everything, or rather he shifted the entire focus on one more form of cryptocurrency called Dogecoin. It's not Doggy Coin, Dog Coin, it's called Dogecoin. So he said that now we accept Dogecoin. So it created crazy volatility in the market. So that's what happened. So basically the entire blockchain technology thrives on the most important pillar of decentralization. Because as discussed today, if I have to buy a car, I need to go through a dealer and I have to pay him, through the banking channels, or I can withdraw cash again through the banking channels and pay him. But with any cryptocurrency which works on the blockchain technology, it is complete, decentralization. Does any country accept Bitcoin as such? As you can see, no country till recently accepted Bitcoin or any form of cryptocurrency because they feared the concept of decentralization. But in June 2021, the young president of El Salvador, Mr. Nayib Bukele, he legalized Bitcoin. He said Bitcoin is legal tender and the value of Bitcoin just shot up. So slowly and steadily, governments are open to the fact that maybe I can accept this decentralized form of currency called Bitcoin, which is basically based on the entire blockchain technology. So here we are discussing the blockchain technology, and the first pillar of blockchain technology from which the other cryptocurrency and other things are derived is the concept of decentralization. So this, my dear friends, is the first pillar. So the first pillar of blockchain technology was decentralization. Let's move ahead to the second pillar. The second pillar is the pillar of immutability. If you remember the Sachin Tendulkar and KGF movie example, the document signed by 4 people and each document was with 4 people, it cannot be tampered with. But in a normal scenario, if I put some money into the bank, now what does the bank do with that money? We really do not know, do we? Ultimately, of course, our deposits, etc. will be safe. But what does the bank do with that money is something which we do not have control of. Of course, there are audits in place and there are other controls, but what, as a layman, as you and I, if we put some money, if we deposit some money into the bank, what happens to that money? We do not know. So a currency that we deposit into a bank, what happens to that is a big question. On the other hand, in the blockchain technology, Sachin Tendulkar in that example has signed 4 different documents and with 4 different people. The moment you change in one, in a digitized version of it, everywhere you will get to know who changed it. So in that way, it becomes almost impossible to tamper. But in a normal scenario where it is, controlled by, let's say, Reserve Bank of India. Now we have seen the Lakshmi Vilas Bank example. Now after the failure of ILFS, Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank and the NBFC, Diwan Housing Finance Company Limited, and of course the bailout of Yes Bank, the Reserve Bank of India sometime in September 2020 imposed a moratorium on the Lakshmi Vilas Bank, and immediately they announced a merger with the DBS Group, which is the holding companies in DBS Singapore. This predominantly was because of the declining profits of Lakshmi Vilas Bank, complete erosion of net worth because it was completely mismanaged. So that is one classic example of layman like you and I not knowing where our money goes. Then we have the classic example of Shri Vijay Mallya, as I fondly call him, because of whom so many laws have come in our country. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Act, the Black Money Regulation Code, and of course the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. So he took money from almost so many banks, SBI, IDBF, so many banks, to the tune of thousands of crores with almost no business model. So the thing is, once we deposit money into the bank, what happens to that money? We do not know. Then we have Punjab National Bank PNB scam, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi, through the concept of letter of credit, where crores and crores of rupees worth of letter of credits were given to foreign suppliers. So, all these things would put a question mark on the credibility of the banking system. On the other hand, in the blockchain technology, there is no way, there is absolutely no way that you can tamper with it, because all these things are cryptographically secure, which brings us to the third pillar. So, pillar 2 is all about immutability. So, in a blockchain technology, it is immutable, which means it cannot be tampered with. Moving on to pillar number 3, which is very, very important, the cryptographic hash function in the blockchain technology. Now, what is this cryptographic hash function? Hash function is like a unique identity, for example, like your fingerprint. So, for every unit of input, there will be a unique output, and this hash function, for example, in Bitcoin, is called as the SHA-256, S-H-A, SHA-256. It gives a cryptographic output for any input. The output is such that it is impossible for an unauthorized person to guess the input. What are you saying? I am not even understanding. It's okay. Let me explain clearly. So, this is SHA-256 used by Bitcoin. Ethereum uses something called, for example, script, right? So, for different cryptocurrencies, there are different cryptographic functions. Now, to understand more about the SHA-256, what I am trying to tell is, for every input, there is a unique output. But I know that we still don't understand. So, let me give you a better example. For instance, if in Bitcoin, which of course uses the SHA-256 model, if I use the word hi, mind you, H is capital and I is small. If I use the word hi and run the SHA-256 cryptography hash function on that, this would be the output. A string of unique letters, unique alphabets. Even if I tamper with one simple letter, or if I add a full stop or an exclamation, the output would change. That is how this is, that is how unique this SHA-256 is, which Bitcoin uses, which again is the third pillar of the blockchain technology, the cryptographic hash function, the unique identity. So, let me show you various examples. Now, this is hi. Let me show you various examples of how on any word or any sentence, when I use the, or when I run the cryptographic hash function, how the output would change. So, imagine even when I tamper with any input, the output changes drastically. So, let us see that. So, as you can see, I have used the word hi and it has got the same cryptographic output. If I just make both capital hi and run the SHA-256, check out the way the entire output changes, right. So, in that example of Sachin Tendulkar, each of them have that document saying that we owe 250 rupees to Sachin Tendulkar. In that 250, if I add 1 0, if I just change the number, do anything, everything will change. So, the same hi, if I do both small, if you see how it changes. The original was hi, started with something called 3639. So, this is the beauty. For every input, there is a unique output. And if I add an exclamation to this or a full stop, just a full stop, look at how it changes. And if I add just an exclamation point, a dollar sign, whatever the case may be, imagine. And it works for sentences also, right. And I just add an exclamation, changes. This is the beauty. Now, you can tell me, dear friends, if a person does not know the input, how would he know what is the unique output? On the other hand, if I know the output and I am an unauthorized person, how can I trace the input? It is impossible, but it is possible. How do they do it? Why is Bitcoin or any sort of cryptocurrency so valuable? and how blockchain technology is almost tamper proof is what we are going to deal with in the second chapter. So I hope you understood this. Cryptographic hash function is a very important and a tool, and it plays a very crucial role in blockchain, because you are dealing in massive amounts of data, massive amount of functions, and the data is cryptographically secure like this. That is the reason why it is very important to understand the third pillar, the cryptographic hash function, and Bitcoin, as I told you, uses the concept of SHA-256. So it's wonderful. You can change, you can play around, whatever it is. Every input has a unique output, and the moment you play around with any of these letters, things will change. So I hope you understood practically how SHA-256 works with this calculator. So dear friends, these were the three pillars of blockchain: decentralization, immutability, and cryptographic hash function. So I hope you got the basics of the same. So regarding how the cryptocurrency works, we will take it up in the next chapter. These are the fundamental principles or fundamental pillars. Now, as far as blockchain networking is concerned, using the blockchain technology, so we know that we have identified that it is decentralized, we know that it is cryptographically secure, but have you ever wondered, where is this entire network maintained? Where is the network maintained? Is there a server somewhere in the Alps? Where is it maintained is the question. So blockchain is maintained peer-to-peer. It's a P2P network, peer-to-peer. There are free flow of transactions, and there is absolutely no central authority. Now let me give you an example. Though I am against piracy, we already know a concept. You already know it. You have already used it in some part of your life, and that is the concept of torrents. Haven't you? Haven't all of us? So how does this work? It works purely like a torrent. So if you see, like, somebody will pirate a movie and upload it on the server, right? Now there are so many people who download it. Now the downloading, will it happen from that particular source, or how is it? No. In a peer-to-peer network, how it happens is, if a person pirates a movie and uploads it onto the server, let us say I download that movie first. Now I am a peer. When I start uploading after I have downloaded, that concept of downloading is called leech, because I am a leech, I am living off of somebody else. And now if I say no problem, I will upload it again so that others can download, I will be called as a seeder. You would have heard these terms, seed and leech. So from the source document, from the source, if I have downloaded something, I am a leech, and then I can immediately upload something, and that's called seed. So basically like that, somebody else sitting in some other part of the country or other part of the world will download from me. He is a leech, and again he will upload, then he will become a seeder and a leecher. That's how it works. So basically each person like that sitting across India, across the world, can become seeders and leechers, and each person becomes a server. Now I become my own server, my system becomes a server. So somebody else can live off of me, or somebody else can live off of the main source. That is the beauty of this. So the more the seeds, the more powerful is the torrent. The more the leeches, it means that still more and more seeders should come and ensure that the torrent is strong. That's how even the entire blockchain technology works. So this is how it's all about blockchain networking. Last part, we all need to know a little bit of the history of this entire blockchain technology, since when it came from, how long it's there, history buff. So in 1991, there were creation of some digital timestamps after all these things, but very interesting to know. Let's take Bitcoin for example. There was an anonymous person, an anonymous coder. His name was Satoshi Nakamoto. Now he introduced Bitcoin, and he described Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So way back in 1991, where there were digital timestamps to record digital contracts, slowly in the year 2008, he published a paper the Satoshi Nakamoto paper, which introduced Bitcoin. He never used the term blockchain, but he created this peer-to-peer electronic cash system called as the Bitcoin. So he explained this using the concept of blocks, that is peers, which means each person can be the server. Now there is a conspiracy theory that Satoshi Nakamoto is none other than Elon Musk, but that again is conjecture, so that is for a different discussion on a different date. So this is how it was. So in the next ensuing chapters, what we are going to discuss is, we will take this very important part of blockchain technology called cryptocurrency and try to understand how cryptocurrency works. We can take Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, whatever it is. Let's understand that. So in this introductory chapter, we have already understood what do you mean by the basics of blockchain technology. In chapter number 2, in this workshop, we will understand how the cryptocurrency works. In chapter number 3, we will understand how blockchain can be used to create something called as smart contracts. And what is the application? It's a very important chapter. What are the application of these smart contracts in our day-to-day life, and how it can revolutionize the way business is done in the world. Then there is another concept called forking, is what we need to also understand. And we will learn a little bit more about the various types of cryptocurrencies and all those things. And also, if you see the recently, government also wants to release, or at least there are plans in the near future, if some centralized authority, regulatory body can be established, they will definitely not fall behind in terms of issuing GOV coins, Gov coins, just like Bitcoin. Correct? So this is the future, my dear friends. And of course, I will also show you a demo on blockchain. It's very interesting as to how it works. Right? So all these things are bundled into this workshop. The idea of this workshop is simple. If you search blockchain, cryptography, anything on Google, anything on YouTube, you will find a lot of videos. But most of those videos are technical. They use a lot of jargon. But I am coming here to explain it to you in the most simple way, in layman's terms, so that normal people like you and I can understand it very, very easily. It is something which is to look forward in the future, where we can definitely learn a lot of things if we know the basics. So on that note, since many people associated with me said, please do something about it, I'm very, very happy and proud to launch another venture called SkillZilla. We have heard of Godzilla, and now Godzilla was somebody who was very powerful and almost invincible. If we have to be invincible in our life, we need to develop various skills. And based on that, I am now launching my website, SkillZilla.in, where from multifarious personalities and multifarious skills will come on board very, very soon. I'll take you through the website immediately, and then we will see what is in store for you. How can you fine tune your skills? How can you hone your skills to be better professionals? And also, even if you are enthusiasts in some particular skill set that we probably want to acquire, SkillZilla is the platform for you. The crux of this SkillZilla is, we are going to give you courses which are of 1.5, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the duration may be. Some will be live classes, some will be recorded classes, whatever it is. The idea is to ensure that you get the right skill, so that you can embrace that skill and ensure that you succeed in your professional life, in your career, and also in even if you have some passion, we want to bring that skill. So I want more feedback from you as to what skills we can introduce. I'll now show you what all skills that we already have in the pipeline. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Punarvas Jayakumar. You can contact our office, that's the phone number, on WhatsApp, as well as call. And you can follow my YouTube channel, Punarvas Jayakumar Law Classes, where I would be discussing various laws, predominantly for the professional courses of CA, CS and CMA. Thank you so much, buddies. Let me dive into SkillZilla.in and show you our new venture, our new website, and what we are going to do. The crux of this is to provide various skills at very, very reasonable prices, so that it is light on the wallet, whether you are a professional, whether you are a student, whatever it is, it should be light on the wallet and we all can learn from this. Thank you so much, guys. If you like this demo video, head over to our website www.skillzilla.in and you will find a range of courses which are coming soon and a couple of courses which have already been uploaded. So coming to the blockchain, if you just log in and purchase the course, first of all, how to purchase? You will find this in the courses section where you could purchase our course. As of now, we have uploaded 2 courses. One is Introductions to Options Trading, which would be a live session. All the details would be seen once you click on them. And now this is the introduction to the blockchain and cryptocurrency. Apart from that, dear friends, we also have a coming soon section which has a host of wonderful courses lined up. One is the IBC course for practicing chartered accountants, which will be handled by me. This was a comprehensive course for practicing chartered accountants who are planning to give the IBC examination. This will have in-depth and exhaustive analysis of the Bear Act and all the recent judgments, which would help us clear the examination. And my very good friends, Chinmaya Hegde, CA Chinmaya Hegde, a multiple All India rank holder, and CMA Tarun Raj sir, who is also a rank holder in CMA, would be coming out with new courses. Chinmaya Hegde would be doing this master option trading advanced level. This would be Zoom live for 8 hours, whereas Tarun Raj sir would be handling the concept of learn GST practically. So where he would be teaching you about GST filing, registration, e-invoicing, everything done practically. No theory involved, everything in practice with real data. Now if you come back to the courses, as I was telling you, if I check the blockchain, if you like this video, these are the 6 modules that are there in the blockchain module. First is Introduction to Blockchain Technology, which you just watched. Then we have how cryptocurrency works, smart contracts, forking, insights on cryptocurrencies, and live blockchain demo. As you can see, each of it is around 40 minutes and one is a small 13-minute clipping. So overall it's around 3 hours. It's a 3-hour course. So obviously if you click on any of those modules, it will directly take you to the page which you just watch now. Then you can go to module 2, how cryptocurrency works. This would come to you directly on the website once you buy. So this is again a 30-minute course which we talk about all the various types of cryptocurrencies involved, right? So you will be streaming within the website, dear friends. So you can learn so many things. And all the courses which are being hosted here in the actual courses section have already been recorded. So you can directly watch it immediately. And after you purchase, this would be valid for around 1 month. So you can make use of this and watch it. Then if you see about, like for example, the next one, smart contracts, this would open and we have spoken about what smart contracts are, how would it be utilized practically, right, with various practical examples. You will just love it, right? We have presented in a very different way, which I'm sure you will really love it, right? So this is about smart contract. Then of course we have videos on forking and insights on, for example, cryptocurrency. And of course, one very interesting thing that we have done is a live blockchain demo. So where I have shown you exactly how the blockchain technology works using a practical demo of the same. So what is a block and how a block is used and how the SHA-256 function is applied on it, and what are the various blocks in a blockchain, right? And if you are a student, the student's name would be appearing on the screen as well. So that is how it works. So guys, check out the website, check out the courses available. The objective was very simple, to give you budget friendly options, wallet friendly options, and to ensure that you learn a course within 2 to 3 hours. That is how we have packaged it, and it is really going to help you. So thank you so much for watching the video. We would need your support. So please hit like, subscribe to our YouTube channel SkillZilla, and please visit our website skillzilla.in, where you can upskill at a very reasonable rate. So look forward to having you on board, dear friends. Cheers.